No, it was good when you said the one thing, and then when you said, "Is it better?" Then it got worse.
What do you mean, louder or quieter?
It's perfect right now. It's just that when
Okay.
you said, "Is that better?" all of a sudden you said it like this. Is that better? It's like you
Is
said that part
better?
worse. No, it's quieter now.
So don't lean back. I need to have the mic all up in my cheeks like a squirrel.
Yeah, I have to too. That's the
I
thing
know.
with these types of mics.
I know. I catch myself leaning back too sometimes.
I mean, Gator does it the most. We're trying to rate, and Gator's like, "Hey guys, can you pick me up over here?" He's like, "I don't know how far. Can you still hear me, Sen?"
Yeah, barely.
Hey,
You sound
what
like
about
you're
now?
coming. Still hear you.
me? Gator's like, "Okay, we got light on right connecting." I'm like, "Gator, can you get closer to the mic?" He's like,
Deep throat the damn thing.
Okay, I gotta be close to the mic." Sin can be all up in Sin's cheeks. All right, yeah, let's get started. Go ahead and start us.
We are burying the mic in our mouth in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to episode 209 of the Guardian Hub podcast, where, yes, we do talk Destiny. Sometimes we interview guests, and sometimes we talk about our love of the game. This week, we have Only Sins. That's your name in the Discord right now.
Yep.
And me, Kingsley Mech.
Yep.
And no Des, probably. He said he's not feeling well.
So it's
but who knows? Sometimes we
two of us.
It is, yeah. But sometimes Sin will come in last minute, or Des will come in last minute, or we even are generally okay with previous guests just joining in. I don't know if I'm asking for trouble, but
you might be.
You know what I mean? If someone joins, I won't be too upset.
And don't forget, those listening live, don't forget to hit the podcast live actual chat on the actual stage itself. You can join in the conversation. That's where most of the shenanigans happens.
Yes. Yeah, it's working out pretty well. And we do have shenanigans in there because we have Drafty back again this week. You can't miss his conversations. They are always fun times to be had there.
Oh, yeah. They are.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. So, anything new before Destiny?
Mando.
Mando?
Yes.
I have not watched such Mando latest season. How is it?
Oh, it's good. It's good. All I'm going to say is Din Grogu.
It didn't Grogu? What?
You'll see when you watch it. That is all. Rodimus says it was a pretty crappy ending, though. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I wish they. I wish there was a little bit more, though, to kind of round it out. But I thought it was good overall.
All right. Well, did you listen much to the episode that you were not in last week, but you edited?
I did. I didn't listen to it when I edited it, but I listened to it in the car.
So, Sen, this is another movie from 1985.
Back to the Future.
No, another movie.
Oh, dang.
And it takes place, there is an organ in it.
An organ? Like a body part? Or like a body part? Or
like a musical organ. Like, like.
And it was from the 80s.
Yeah, 1985. But don't start going to IMDb and looking up every movie from 1985. You have to play along. No.
I know. Searching. I listened to it, and I knew the last week one just from the little bit of Discord chatter about it, and then listening to it, I was like, oh, yeah, that does make sense. Oh, okay. Man. Is it a black and white movie?
From 85?
Yeah. I mean, they still made black and Black and white movies.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
In 85. Come on.
So it was color. Okay, got it.
Sin, you're sounding like you.
Do I get
You're sounding
21
like
questions?
you're sounding like a Zoomer.
Maybe. Do I get to ask questions?
Yeah, you can ask questions, but
Was the person who used the organ a child or an adult?
it was a child.
Was it?
Yes.
Ooh, a child playing an organ. Was it a horror genre or more of like a drama?
More like a drama.
Okay, so not horror.
I'm going to give you more hints. You don't have to ask questions too.
I'm just trying to make sure it's not going to take as long as it did last week.
And if anyone, no, it won't take too long. And if anyone wants to write guesses in the chat, that's fine. But Sin, do not look at the chat for a little bit.
Okay. So I'll stare at my Twitch stream.
Yes. Next hint. There are skeletons in the movie.
Skeletons.
But it's not a horror genre.
It's not a horror.
No, people would classify it drama for sure. It would not be classified horror.
The Addams Family.
Did they make an Addams Family in 1985?
The original Addams Family. I don't know when it came out, but it's older.
Again, you're probably original Addams Family. Wasn't that like in the 50s or something? You're all mixed up with
Is this
years
a popular movie?
Yes, it was very popular.
Hmm.
Very popular. Okay, I will give you another hint. One of the writers was Steven Spielberg.
Spielberg movie.
See if anyone in the chat knows yet.
So I shouldn't look at the chat still. Okay, great.
No one gave it away in the chat, but you shouldn't look at the chat just in case someone does right now. Don't worry, this won't go on too long, but I got to make it somewhat fun where you're not getting it right away.
An organ, a kid playing an organ, not a horror movie. It's got skeletons.
And not a horror movie, yeah.
By Steven Spielberg.
Don't look at the chat. Hopefully it didn't pop up for you. Notifications. Did you see Sin? You could tell the truth if you saw anything pop up.
I'm looking at all my notifications are on the right monitor. I'm looking at the left.
Okay. I'll give you another hint here.
I'm assuming somebody guessed it.
Yeah, someone did.
Dang.
Steven Spielberg and Christopher Columbus wrote the movie. An organ.
Skeletons.
A kid playing organ. Skeletons. Okay. It also has to do with... It has a pirate theme also. I'm purposely trying to... I'm having fun with this.
I know. You had fun with it last week, too. A pirate-themed kid playing an organ.
You really have no idea?
Jaws. I don't know.
All right. I'll start giving the good hints. Hey, you guys.
The Goonies?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus. Nate Fu guessed it. He came in late and nailed it. Just like that.
Yep. I know, right?
Now, if you would have led with, hey, you guys first, that would have been
of course,
so easy.
Too obvious. I mean, yeah. That was fun. Sorry I had to do that again.
Fair enough.
Yep.
I'll allow it this time.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and for me, I was saying before the show, but my wife had to get her windshield replaced on her car because got a large crack in it, and in these newer Subaru Crosstreks that we have, it's very expensive to replace the windshields because they have all the fancy eyesight lane assist cameras and bullshit, and so you need special glass that works with that, and they need to recalibrate everything. You know how much it was going to cost if we didn't have insurance? Luckily, I had to have a $500 deductible.
And I do remember getting called out last week when I did listen. Des said, we're talking about cars, and the car guy's not here. But now I'm here.
$1,200 is what it would have cost if I didn't have insurance deductible.
It's expensive, and it's not necessarily just the windshield. It's more the labor for calibrating.
It is, yeah.
Flat rate hours that you're going to get from the techs.
Yeah, I talked about that some last week, but it's done as of today, so don't need to complain about that anymore. How's your work going? Selling a lot of cars?
We are. I was off today, but we finally got our forecast number or our goal from Volkswagen, and we basically have to double our units in the next it's the 20th, so 10 days, less than 10 business days. So what is it, 7 or 8 business days now? We have to double our units, so we need 30 more cars. It's not quite double, but 30 more new Volkswagens we got to put out.
I thought usually April's good because of tax returns and everything. Is it not the case this year?
Can be. It's a weird time in the market with interest rates being high. Inventory is starting to come around. We have about 90 plus units in stock, where it was 40 to 50 at any given time. They're about 6 months ago. So we're sitting on more inventory, but the manufacturer is still not incentivizing, other than, let's say for us, it's a 4.9 rate. Some manufacturers are doing 0.9, 2.9 for lower terms. But, people are still being a little weird about interest rates. And, 5, 6, 7% is kind of the norm right now, depending on terms and credit situations. We still have customers that'll get 24% because they have lower credit beacons, right? So if the banks do finance them, it's higher risk. But for the most part, people with excellent credit, it's 5 to 7%, where people are used to getting 2, 3, 0% prior.
Yeah, that's the crappy thing about sales. It's feast or famine, right? Things happen that are out of your control, and then all of a sudden you're like, we can't sell.
But we will sell them.
Yeah.
We'll do our best. I joke about it at work. I'll do the penguin dance to sell a car. So I will go as low as possible to try to sell a car. And it's not abnormal on new car side to lose money to sell a unit. Even with holdbacks and, manufacturer money that you get, you still would lose money on the front end of the deal. So that's my specialty, negotiating and dropping my pants per se.
Gross. Don't want to go to that dealership then. You drop your pants and waddle around like a penguin. That gets them to buy.
Yeah, right. The waddle dance, the waddle the pants down.
I think we need to move on to Destiny talk, because this is
probably borderline After Dark.
Yeah, weird images there. Yeah.
At least it's not Kato shirtless.
What's going on in Destiny? What have you been up to? Say nothing. Good.
I got 2 weeks worth since I wasn't here last week, right? So Guardian ranks, I know that was a hot topic between a few podcasts here over the last week or so. And I'm at Guardian rank 9, working on getting to Guardian rank 10. I guess I should say completing 9. And just a little bit behind on the pinnacle cap of 1810. And I have a few pieces that I need to get. So I've been grinding pinnacle power and pinnacle activities the last few days and nights that I've been on. I've been working on the Master Raid challenges, and our crew, you and I, we did it last week, was Encounter 3 with the Planets. That was definitely a fun encounter. I did ads, which normally isn't as fun for me to do, but it was definitely interesting on a master level activity when there's a lot more going on. And I know Ed and I were doing a competition between ad clear, so that was kind of fun. One more week. I know we're going to try to knock out Nezarek here on Saturday, so I'm looking forward to that. But other than that, I worked a little bit today on my Warlock, trying to get it through the campaign. And I could say Strand for Warlock is definitely interesting to use. I think the super for that is pretty powerful, along with from what I've played with it so far, the melee darts that you throw and how they tangle and spread to other people or other ads or enemies. It seems on the normal difficulty pretty aggressive and pretty fun. You feel powerful for sure. I've not dipped my toes in Hunter yet, though.
Yeah, on that point first, and I want to talk about raid stuff too. For sure, Strand is super fun on Warlock, and for higher level content, it's either Strand or Solar. A couple times, of course, Solar if we need on Warlock, we're still not often doing healing nades. I guess if we really need the protection, but the fusion nades with Starfire is still a good build. But Solar in general for like the protection with the well. But Strand, you get a lot of protection also by other things happening. You worry about the ads less because you're always throwing shackle grenades. Your super is so powerful and offensive one-hit super that you're not in it forever. Kind of like Nova Bomb, but I feel like it's a lot more powerful. So yeah, Strand and Solar are the way to go on Warlock right now. Having a lot of fun with those two. And then the raid, yeah, we've been having fun. I guess fun, right? Even though we've spent many hours in there and beat our heads against the wall several times. We've gotten it done every week so far.
The second encounter was the worst, and that was just because that encounter being really, really glitchy and awful in general, and you got that chasm to cross over. I think planets, we hit a pretty good stride in fairly quick.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it still took a while, but not as long as the second encounter. But I do want to say, you said you had fun with ads. Another thing, I think I mentioned it in the Discord, so I don't think I've said on the podcast. Maybe I did. Forgive me if I did. But again, this raid, so interesting. On normal, yes, everyone who has experience says it's easy. But here's the thing. On master mode, ad position is the harder position. You want to do the mechanics if you want the easier position, right?
Right.
The ad control, you have to be on point.
You do. So, and I was probably not using the best weapon for it, but I really like my Jurassic Green, and you needed the pulse for the champion anyway, and I felt that worked well for my play style. But I really enjoyed the incandescent, and I was using the double firebolt grenades on Titan, and that actually helped in conjunction with incandescent, and it felt super powerful, especially on the red bar ads.
Yeah, Nate, you could still join. We like inebriated people. Now we'll get you on sometime for sure. We need it. We need to do that. Yeah, but it's been fun. We have one more encounter to go.
Oh yeah.
What else? Hat is ironed.
Well, I'm wearing the Osiris hat. I've been having this thing with hats lately. So I got a Volkswagen trucker hat. It's got camo in the front and Volkswagen, and then I've had this one. It's been in my basement, so I decided I would put it on and wear it. It's Destiny themed. I'm actually wearing a Destiny shirt as well. I think it's it's like the Ace of Spades shirt or something. So I got to come.
Hold on.
Podcast.
Talk for 30 seconds. I'm going to grab a hat that has the opposite style.
Oh,
I'll be literally back in 30 seconds or less.
So talk amongst myself for 30 seconds. I would say, other than that in game, I've just been messing around. I haven't been focused much on triumphs or title grinding as much outside of the raid. Nate Fu, inebriated, never drafty. You know from experience.
Hold on. When I came back, my headset got tangled in my microphone. All right, where do we turn on video again here? Turn on camera. See, my hat is too bendy, even though I grew up with, I like the baseball style caps.
Yeah.
This is a Utah Jazz hat. Got it when I went to the last game, but I feel like it's like almost too much.
That's
cute. It's still good. So cute. But see, Drafty, I have a cap. I got a baseball cap on. Well, it's a basketball cap, but
I'll turn on my lighting just to brighten up the room for everybody so they can see it.
Yep,
this is good quality listening.
And sorry,
you can't see it.
I know. Sorry for those of you just listening. We're doing a live show bit, a video show bit right now, so you too can see.
If you
my
join.
Ugly mug and Sin's uglier mug. No, I don't know.
my ugly, currently bearded mug.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Drinking strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper. Not brought to you by Dr. Pepper or Manscaped.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, I was talking about this in a group chat. I have a drink that is supposedly illegal to sell in Utah. My friends imported it from somewhere else. It's called a Beatbox. It's fruit punch, 11% alcohol, 15 ounces in here. It has 3 servings because if you drink it all, holy cow.
Next time around, I'll bring my
Anyways.
whiskey.
All right, let's get back to here. Yeah, so here for the hat content. Thanks, Big Tex. Okay, so Destiny, and then one thing that I wanted to talk about, last week it was the hot topic of the Guardian ranks. One thing that I've noticed the last couple of days, and I wasn't sure at first, and then I was pleasantly surprised, but by the way, Bungie patch notes are really becoming a mess these days. They had a big patch, a mid-season patch on Tuesday. Then like 2 days later, they're like, oh, we missed all these notes. And then they came out with another release of patch notes. There's still some that they missed even in that because even though they didn't tell us for sure, this patch did include the cool new thing in the Vex Incursion public event on Neomuna, that if you run that event, you now get exotic armor pieces on a knockout list, any armor pieces that you do not have yet. So this is a really good way to grind for armor pieces you do not have on all your characters. It's always a guaranteed exotic, and it's always a guaranteed one that you don't have yet. If you have all the armor for that character, it will just drop a random exotic. And so we started noticing that when we were running it. And I'll tell you, this is a lot of fun. It actually has me want to come in with my other characters and just run through these events over and over. Have you done any of them yet since Tuesday, Sin?
I did one last night. There was a couple people in a team, and I joined in just a bunch of blueberries in my own instance. And I got, what did I get? Oh, I have it up here on screen somewhere. It was the no backup plans for Titan. And I think I did it maybe once, maybe twice prior. Now I know you have it integrated in with one of the channels. We have that bot that comes out and is supposed to alert us every time one's coming up, which is going to be nice. But I absolutely wouldn't mind farming this on the other characters once I get them up to snuff to get all my exotics. I just don't have the capacity to go in and grind solo lost sectors day after day to get those.
No, that's the thing, because I prefer, even if you're like a quote solo player, public events are still solo. You're not having to talk to people. They're just there. You can ignore them, right? And there's always enough people around, especially now because everyone knows that this is happening. So chances are you'll get it done. Anyways, with this being guaranteed, where even Legend Lost sectors with the drop rate 25 to 28% is what they said, that gives you an average bell curve of about 4 runs, but you're not even hitting bad luck until about 6 runs. So if you have bad luck, it could be 6 or more runs still before you even get an exotic to drop. And those weren't even on a checkoff list. They were still random itself, right?
Yeah.
I feel like they would just drop whatever. So this, to me, is way better.
Yeah, it's a good change. And I think for the majority of players.
And pretty good rolls. Did you see? I've gotten like 65 every single time.
I think my no backup plans were a 63 base, and resilience, and had higher mobility and high discipline. Those were the bigger spikes with a 12 resilience. Probably not my preferred stat breakdown. Now that I have over abundance materials, I think I might start trying to hone in here on my stat breakdowns a little bit better, and trying to double up and get double 100s because I never did the double or triple 100s prior. But yeah, 63, 65 is definitely a good roll to have.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, you are level 8. Speaking of Guardian ranks again, and then what do you have left to do? You got to get that 1810 base and a few other things.
No, I for this rank I only need the 1810 base, so it's just pinnacle grind for me.
That's all you need.
The crappy part is the first night I did it this week or late last week. I can't remember if it was Monday night or last night, but my first 1810s, I got like 2 or 3 arms, 1810 in a row. Last night I got 3 1810 legs from the raid. Like I couldn't have the worst luck trying to get to my pinnacle cap by getting multiples of the same column or the same thing that I've already gotten.
Everyone does though. I do too. I think just if you try not to worry about it or you don't pay attention, then you don't get bugged by it. I'll tell you, if you raid a lot, if you do the stupid grind, then all the other pinnacle activities, if you've been doing it most weeks, everyone could have had it by now. Now that again, if you're doing a lot or all of the pinnacle activities, but you don't need to care if you don't care. We're not going to have a power level increase next season. Maybe not the season after. There's rumors that switching to another type of power grind, but it's not going to be this number system anymore. We are staying at 1810 base for a while, as far as we know. So you have time, unless you want to get the Guardian ranks, which again, no reason to have FOMO over that, but at the same point, more people have been carrying these last few weeks. So I think that's good news that Bungie got more people interested as opposed to the beginning of the season where really no one was interested. But it's also one of those things that obviously we don't care about. Everyone has different things that they do. I know people that don't play much, and then things like Guardian games come around and they hit it hard, and I think that's stupid or silly. Sorry, stupid's a hard word. Like, I don't grind for that stuff. So, it is what it is.
Right.
Which, speaking of, I wish Guardian Games was here sooner. We have our mid-season update. It's not this week. It's not next week. It's the week after. We kind of don't have too much going on in the game right now.
It's coming. I mean, we had this week at Reset, the final portion of the story dropped.
Yeah,
Can't forget about that.
All right. What did you think about that?
It was a quickie. I did it just before the raid the other night. I went in solo to start, and a couple people joined on me to finish it up. It wasn't bad. The
mission was cool, nice, but and then the mission didn't have like a boss battle or anything. The mission was really cool. You're taking down this huge engine in a ship, and then all of a sudden you're out of it and it's done. I'm like, oh, okay.
It was easy. Like you said, no boss battle. I think it was a nice touch at the end, and I think it kind of puts closure to the story arc for sure. But yeah, the ship for me was the nice touch at the end. Could have been more with a boss fight, but I'm not complaining.
It doesn't have to have a boss fight, but with it being like a ship that we're quote taking down or whatever, at least have some kind of like 10-second cutscene, some really cool, or some explosion in the sky, like in the skybox. Like, you don't have to do some big dramatic thing like a 2-minute cutscene, but we were literally just teleported back into orbit or in the farm. I'm like, oh, okay.
Right.
Or something dramatic, like we take, the ship engine gets destroyed, and then it's like red alert, and it's like there's some countdown on the ship, and it's all dramatic, and then we like transmat out or something. Like, it was just, we do that, and then it was very anticlimactic, and they pull us out, and we're done.
Yeah. Still good though.
Devrim did our job for us. The fuck, it was stupid.
Thanks to Hazel joining the chat. # votes in for mod. Campaign is still going.
Destroying an engine isn't super dramatic. Well, It was a pretty cool and large engine. I mean, I was feeling mostly into it. I was like, this is pretty cool. Not the most coolest thing. And then we're done. And then, we're back in the farm. Okay.
Yeah.
But
you're just there.
The lines again from Zavala at the very end, again, giving another eulogy, effigy. What's the right word for? For Amanda.
Monologue.
It hit me again. It was good, but try to slow down and listen to that, because again, just thinking of the whole thing of, the voice actor being dead in real life, and just it's kind of some weird themes going on there, even though he was talking about Amanda. So
yeah.
So that was kind of cool. All right. Let's see here. TWAB.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
It's not much.
I know there was a lot of recap from what we've already seen in the patch notes. And the patch
I
notes
can hear your voice getting away from the mic.
Oh, that's when I talk away and I'm looking at the other screen.
Uh-huh.
Hold on.
It's all good.
Drag. Now I can't see you. Dragging.
Thanks for reminding me, Scoot. The coolest part was getting the ship I think it's cool, anyways. It was kind of cool to go back to the tower and like, here, get the keys, get the ship.
Right from her spot.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and get up on that mic. Okay, so they talk about those changes. There was a blog article that we won't go over all the details, but they and recap a little bit in the TWAB, but they're making some more cool accessibility changes, which a lot of times you hear from people they want to change their radar color, and so what they have to do is they have to change the whole colorblind mode, you know?
Yeah.
What's a popular one? Not penumbra. You know what I mean? It changes it yellow, and it is.
I was going to go look it up for you if you didn't see it.
No, it's right here. Protanopia.
Protanopia.
Yeah. Anyways, you are going to be able to tweak very specific things like reticle changes, full auto melee changes, toggle settings, additions, subtitle color choices, blah, 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 blah. I didn't read all the details, but there's some cool changes coming there. But we have our Arbalist ornament coming out. Did you see that picture in the TWAB?
I did. And you get to vote for our next one between Izanagi's, Witherhorde, and Thunderlord.
Okay. We want to hear from you all. If you haven't seen those pictures, try to pull up the TWAB real quick. Maybe I can take a screenshot here and post it in the chat. We have 3 exotics that they are going to let us vote on. I'm posting this in the chat right here. Do you have one that you're going to vote for, Sin?
I think I'm going to go with the Thunderlord.
I am going for Thunderlord also. That is pretty cool looking, that blue color scheme to it. Plus, I feel like Izanagi and Witherhorde already have enough ornaments. Thunderlord needed one more so than the others.
Who uses Izanagi's anymore, though?
Well, that's why it's not going to win. And unfortunately, I feel like Witherhoard's going to win because more people use that, and that's the default point. I hate when people just vote on what they use the most instead of what looks the best or what deserves one. So I'm pretty much guessing that Witherhorde will win, but I hope Thunderlord wins.
Well, I mean, I know Witherhorde.
Plus that Izanagi one, I feel like Izanagi already had one that kind of looked like that. That, to me, does not look that different. And even Witherhorde. But the Thunderlord one looks pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I think Thunderlord, just because of the simple fact it's a top contender right now for DPS. I think that would be the one probably most people will go with. Witherhoard's meh. I've seen it a little bit tonight in Crucible playing Momentum Control. It's still kind of annoying with that area of effect. But I'm thinking, if it's my thought, I think Thunderlord will win it just because of where it's at right now in the game.
Yeah. All right, and we do have a question I want to get to in the chat in a second, but I think we can finish up what else here we care about.
Weapon crafting notice. When you select a weapon to reshape, we copy the weapon that is in your inventory. We place a copy in a reshaping slot. If you make that weapon in your inventory, blah, blah, blah. I don't think that's important. Something about a fix. But basically, in honor of Hazel being here, shit's broken.
Well, that's the thing, too, that the community has been a little in the uproar these last couple of days that with this update, it's fixed a lot of things, but broken a lot of things, too. I'm like, this is somewhat normal. Now, as a separate point, I do even start to think myself we're getting a little out of control with the server downtimes. Bungie seems to be slipping a little bit right there. I don't know if anyone else feels the same way. I'm not super concerned, but I'm getting a little concerned. So hopefully that will be getting a little bit better over time.
Yeah. Been acting a little sketchy, but I agree.
A little sketchy there.
A little sketchy. It'll get better eventually.
Yeah. I wonder if just... I don't know if it's just circumstance or something with... I don't know that they have necessarily less employees, but again, maybe there's so many other things that they're working on too. It could be that there are less employees on the Bungie, or sorry, the Destiny support side, if that makes sense. If you think about it, if this big thing that's coming out after Final Shape is going to be like, quote, a different project where it's almost like maybe a new engine or a new group of people working on it.
Whoa.
Whatever it is, I don't really care. But if it, let's say it's a different group of people working on it, well, and we know that Bungie works about 6 months ahead on content. They're pretty much wrapping up on the main thing, and the support people too. They could be working on Skeleton Crew as far as like, well, the game mostly works, so we'll not worry about too many things unless something goes down or a big problem, and maybe that's why some more of these errors are creeping up lately. Who knows?
Yeah. Time will tell.
Okay, Sin. Question for you from one Nate Fu. I rhyme. With Trials and Iron Banner becoming more inclusive, does it feel like these events are just, quote, regular events with an air of FOMO to make people participate?
I saw when he typed that, and I was thinking that exactly feels like the state of Trials and Iron Banner currently. They are super regular, right? You have Trials pretty much every weekend, and then you have now Iron Banner once a month, and then now you have the titles that go along with it, and the titles themselves for people chasing titles. If you're not in it during those events or trying to yield those titles at this point, it does feel like there is a slight dash of FOMO in there. I'm okay playing them, but I am not. For me, I don't have the FOMO with that particular side of the game. That's not what I go after. I don't go after the Crucible stuff. So for me, I like to play with friends. Every now and again. If I'm jumping in with Kato or some other members of the community, or whatnot, whether it's comp, regular Crucible, Iron Banana, or Trials, I'm just going in to have fun. And it's and anybody who plays with me and knows that when I play in Crucible, that's the only time that I rage. Not excessive, but I do cuss a lot more. But it is fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get any FOMO with that stuff either. No matter if it was made FOMO purposes or not. But trying to be fair about the point and the question asked, I guess it's hard to say. Iron Banner has been a little weird lately. Remember, yes, we did get the 3 this season, but remember for a while, or was it only one season they did 2? It was the thing. It was a couple seasons, and people didn't like that. So that was definitely more FOMO there, because if you were going for the chainmail or the title or the things like that, you didn't have a lot of opportunity to get it done. Just 2 weeks in a whole season.
Right.
But now we get the 3 weeks again.
Doesn't feel as bad with that, for sure, on the Iron Banner side.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with having titles that are just limited time. They do this also with the seasonal events, like the Guardian Games, the Halloween event, all these things. And if you don't do it then, you miss out. And so I guess the point I'm trying to make is it's good to have stuff to strive for, but if you're the type of person that doesn't have a lot of gaming experience yet and or feeling FOMO and feeling stressed, just don't. Just, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Life's too short.
Go have some fun.
Yeah. Touch some ass. I mean, grass.
Speaking of touch, I almost said what you said there. Touch some grass.
No, I kind of purposely.
Touch grass emote is for Bright Dust. So by the time this comes out on Monday, if you don't know it already, you need to go quickly and get it. It's like 3,200 Bright Dust.
Yes.
And I got it.
You got it. It's cool, but I don't know. Should I get it?
Yeah, absolutely. What else are you going to spend your Bright Dust on?
The nice thing is I always buy every shader that comes out. I buy emotes that are meaningful to me. The thing is I don't think this touching grass emote is that hilarious, even though so many people are like, oh, it's so funny, it's so awesome. I really like the few emotes that I have, so I think I'll pass on this one. Sorry everyone who loves it. I mean, it's a good one for sure. I'm waiting for the dog one to come back around, and I missed a long time ago.
Yeah. I don't know if I got it.
Wishender, the Warlock robes this week are very cool. Definitely check that out for Bright Dust Store, the Technologic robes. Gator would like this too. This looks more Matrixy style. They're not like dress style. They're more like leather jacket style.
It's the Kajin Beast plate this week for Titan. So I haven't been into getting those ornament sets, honestly. I've been kind of meh about them. Haven't really been finding anything that I really would want or need on that. So I haven't been really going out after they release them season after season, and there's 3 characters. It's just like, if I found one that I really liked, maybe I'd much rather have the emotes and weapon skins.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's the TWAB. We talked about what we've been doing. We talked about Vex Incursion. And we want to hear from you if you have any other comments in the chat, questions, things you want us to talk about. But other than that, this could be a shorter week. Listen has some jokes for us.
Average D2 player did have some questions in just after last week's show, it looks like. I don't remember hearing these, so might as well.
Yeah, let's scour through to make sure we didn't miss any.
Question for the show. You have just opened a yogurt. Are you licking the lid? Kingsley.
Okay, so no. Oh, me first. Okay, yeah. Well, the thing is it depends on which yogurt. I know that sounds stupid, but growing up, we had the Yoplays a lot with that little foil lid, and everyone did that on the foil lids. But if it's like the plastic harder lids, no, I'm not gonna lick the lid on those ones. What about you, Sin?
I mean, I don't think the lid to me matters. If you're licking, you're licking. Just go ahead and lick it. Pause. But yes, yeah, you got to lick the creamy goodness off that. You don't want to waste any.
Okay. Has anyone not had Yoplait yogurts? You know what I'm talking about? They just have a little foil peel off lid on the top, and it's just the perfect softness. This is sounding really weird now. But no one's licking a plastic lid yogurt cap. I don't think
it's just the
Yoplait ones.
The gooey stuff that's on there, the nice creamy gooey stuff. But we can save the additional content for onlysins.com when that becomes live.
Yeah. All right, great question though. Some good conversation there.
Average D2 player does have 2 more. First one, question for the show. As we know, one of the requirements for Guardian rank 11 is to solo the latest dungeon. Do you think solo activities should be a part of Guardian ranks? I can go first on this. I think solo activities, when you start getting into that tier 11, yes. I think it's a fine line that you're teetering on with this, right? The top level ranks are meant to be for the top of the players. I think, yes, you should have to solo those activities. On the same hand, I don't think they should be solo flawless. And there are some triumphs and some people that are triumph hunting out there that have to solo flawless things. I think the flawless aspect is a little bit much, personally. But yes, I don't mind the solo activities in there. And the latest dungeon, I absolutely do not like. And to have to go in there to do it for rank 11 is going to be mind-numbing.
Yeah, but it's not. There's no solo flawless for rank 11.
Correct.
Yeah, it's just for other things. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what his point was. If it's more like there shouldn't be solo things no matter the difficulty, or if it's more, are they appropriate for the difficulty? First of all, I do think they're appropriate for the difficulty. I mean, me too. I'm like, oh, that's up there, and I don't know if I'm going to care about level 11. Although I did see a level 11 in the wild today, and not only is the wings and the emblem a lot cooler, they add some color to it too. So it's a little interesting now. I might want to go for it. But that being said, I don't know what else they could have really added to be top of the top pinnacle stuff. I mean, when you think about it, soloing dungeons, running a master dungeon and a master raid, really probably the only thing harder would also be a master raid with challenges. But or maybe going trials flawless, I don't know, 3 times or something. But these things are the hardest things in the game. So to me, that seems appropriate. Now, being solo, I don't see any problem with that because that doesn't matter. There were solo things you did earlier on the baby ranks, and then there was grouped things on earlier ranks with doing raids and stuff. So the fact that it's going back to solo, to me, that part doesn't matter. So I wasn't sure what you meant by that. But I don't know. I think they're fine.
How do you feel?
Yeah. Well, it's annoying looking at it, but now I've had time to think about it. I can't really see what they could have done much better. Maybe they can remove. You know what? Maybe. Yeah. So maybe he's just talking about doing, because the main solo one is just the dungeon solo, and then otherwise you do the dungeon on master difficulty. I'd be fine if they took away the dungeon solo, because that's probably the most annoying one, just because it takes forever running it solo.
That one in particular.
And then, yeah. If they took that away, but I don't want them to make it a lot easier, because level 11 has to be something to go for.
I know we have some friends of the show that say that would be the carrot on the end of the stick.
Yeah.
Question for the show. What is one habit that annoys you the most? For average D2 player, it's when people talk on the phone and eat.
Do you want to go with this one first, then, or?
Yeah, I mean, I have. I'll talk about work, right? So, one of my biggest annoyances at work, when I first walk in the morning, I drive over an hour to get to work, so I get there like right at 9. So I got to clock in. There's usually leads and requests and emails that I go through, and then salespeople just mosey on in, like 9:01, 9:02, 9:03, and then they want to come stand up at my desk and like talk about dumb stuff while I'm sitting there trying to work. Like, I got a lot more stuff to do than you do. It's like, go away. Like, don't come and bother me like early in this morning. But after
that is so funny. I would have pictured you to be that type of person.
No,
but you're actually the person that's not wanting to talk to them.
No, I will flat out ignore them. And if they try talking to me, I'm like, you got to hang on a second. I have 10 leads in here. I'm the only manager sitting up here, and there's 20 emails to respond to. And half of them are your customers, which you should be doing. But yet I'm doing your job for you. You can go away, and I'll tell you when I'm ready for you.
Oh, Sin's responsible.
I am. I'm responsible at work. When I'm at home, my mind shuts off, and I'm like, let's have some fun. It's whatever.
Okay, so on this question, I do have an answer. The eating, the food stuff doesn't bother me. I've also never been a person where, like, if people are chewing on ice or whatever. However, drinking water, this is becoming more and more of an issue. Everyone has water bottles these days. Remember how, as kids, no one walked around with water bottles. We just went to drinking fountains, or we drank water out of a hose, or we got a glass of water at our friend's house, or a soda or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with everyone having water bottles. Yeah, we're all staying hydrated, but I'm on so many phone calls now. And then people don't realize, like, maybe if they have it on speaker or they're on a phone call, wherever. I'm always hearing this now, Sin. I'm hearing. And that kind of gets on my nerves a little bit.
I wish I recorded that for some After Dark content, not going to lie. The video aspect of it, along with the sound, is priceless.
I'm like, can you drink your water bottle away from the speakerphone?
You need a noise gate on your cell phone or something. Like, you got to stop that.
I love the question. That is hilarious. I don't know why. No, I'm not going to do that one more time. But you know what I mean, right? Has anyone ever heard that before? Or maybe you do it yourself. So try not to do it in right close to a phone.
I don't think I've ever experienced that. Like, I've heard some weird stuff calling customers before, and but I can't say I've heard the water bottle drinking.
Love the question. And Hazel hates the ice in the glass all the time. You mean like the dinging sound back and forth, like people shaking their glass or something, clinging? Yeah,
I do that with my bourbon. You get the big, nice,
Shake it.
chunky, round ice cube and a little bit of bourbon, and you're swirling it around, but you get a little bit of the ice clanking against the glass itself. Swirl it,
Oh,
take
yeah,
a swig.
talk dirty.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's some good After Dark stuff. We may have to get to After Dark soon. But yeah, great questions. Thank you. You too can leave questions for the show, even if you can't make our live show. We have a questions for the show channel, and we will try to read it on the show. It doesn't even have to be Destiny related.
We are equal opportunity offenders here.
Yeah. All right. Anything else last minute for our main show before we start closing out here?
Yeah, we'll keep it short and sweet like a Rice Krispie treat this week.
All right. Well, with that being said, we'd like to thank. We had new member Salt join our patron, so thank you for that. And you too, if you would like to join our patron, we don't ask that anyone do, but we really appreciate those that do. Also, it will always be free. But joining, what can people do, Sin? They can change your name.
Yes.
Right.
They can change it from it's currently only Sins because nobody's changed it recently. But as a reminder, all you beautiful Patreon members, don't forget to send in that request.
Yeah, and you get a special channel where we can talk about that also. Hey, even if you don't want to join the Patreon, if you just want to leave us a review, check out more about our show, everything, you can check out our website. We'll give that address a little bit later. Please give us reviews on iTunes. We will read them out if you do. And also, if you know anyone who's a friend, we've been getting a bit more requests to join the clan lately, but these people are not following the rules of joining the Discord and saying hi. And I message these people and I say, hey, did you see in the clan description, the only requirement is you must join the Discord. And then we will most likely let you in. So if you know any friends that you were telling them to join and they're not in the Discord, just tell them to join the Discord. You do not have to be active in the Discord. Just tell Sin hi once and we'll count that as good.
Pretty much.
I mean, Drafty's not active in the Discord right now. We still let him stick around.
He comes in just for the live shenanigans.
Yes. All right. That sounds good. We might as well give our information. Sin, where can people find you? Good sir.
They can find me currently touching grass, not ass, in the tower with this beautiful new emote. Twitter, Sin_media, or the Discord next to you and Raven, where you can also find Raven lurking and twerking in all of the lore channels across the entire Al sector. Kingsley
Definitely
with Mike,
twerking in those channels.
Yeah, he's definitely twerking. Kingsley, Mike deep in those cheeks, Mac, take us out.
Gross. You can find me as Kingsley Mac all the places. I stream occasionally, mostly just when I'm raiding for friends to watch. But more importantly, you can find our show, The Guardian Hub, on Twitter as The Guardian Hub, or our lovely website, theguardianhub.com.
The best hub on the net.
Thank you, Sin. Thank you, everyone in the live chat. Thank you, everyone who's listening to this after the fact. And we will catch you all again next week. Have a good one.
Bye.
Are you going to regret this?
Probably.
No, we can cut out whatever we need.
Who's we? I'm in control.
I'm the captain now.
And
Are you with us, Drafty?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, he's here. He's drinking beer and chilling.
No, actually, I'm about to get some more whiskey.
Finishing this
There you
off.
go. That's what she said. Now I can actually play momentum control. I can usually do it when when all three of us are here, because then I don't have to pay attention as much. But now I can actually go.
Yeah.
But trying to like click heads and momentum control and getting shot by Trinity Ghoul and Lemonarch and getting one hit by bows is kind of obnoxious.
Can we drag people in? Nate says it's not. I don't think we can, right?
No.
I don't think
we
we
can.
can.
You have to click on your name, Nate, and then you can say speak, become a speaker, or whatever the word says.
Oh,
Sorry,
that's
we
what I
can't
wanted to
drag
try.
you up.
I wanted to mess. They have a soundboard feature now that we need to try out.
That's
Who
what
does?
I've been playing. That's what I've been playing since my Venom Control. I got my Lorenz driver catalyst. All the catalysts I've had over the seasons I've never finished. Been killing Guardians.
Oh, hey. I had a long press. The stupid button to click accept was hidden behind the title,
Okay.
and I couldn't click on it.
We figured it out. Tech support for the win.
Like, try to press the button, but it's behind the TGH live recording number 209. I'm like, I can't click the damn button. I tried changing orientations.
Well, admittedly, on
So
mobile,
long press, and it was like, speak to stage. So long press, speak to stage.
Just
I like
All
it is when you have to, if you want to clear Discord, you long press the Discord icon and say mark on red. Makes sense.
Discord, why you dumb?
Hazel,
So I'm going to be an
Hazel
outtakes, huh?
Oh yeah.
you may.
Yes,
It
sir.
depends on what Sin does.
I warned you, I was inebriated.
Yeah,
This is what I do.
it's all good.
Feeling better, Hazel?
It's all part of the brand at this point.
It's fine. I thought
Yeah.
I'd be more drunk. I finished this off, but I'm not feeling it too much, so I got to
Not
move on
feeling?
to something else.
Yeah, if you felt that, then you're lightweight.
Oh,
Oh, it's
I
only
just like
11%.
Only
momentum
11%.
control. Oh, speaking of 11, I do see that icon there. There's one in momentum control, and it's got like wings and shit.
Yeah. I watched Danfinity hit rank 11. He soloed the Spire dungeon today.
Yep.
It is cool looking.
That was
He
fun
did
to
solo
watch. And flawless. And he did flawless too.
So Scoot said he personally supports gatekeeping in video games, and I tend to agree
Well, Destiny
when
does
it's
have
not
gatekeepers.
weapons and armor.
Yeah, who knows what exactly was being talked about there. Oh,
No, we
You
were
mean-
talking about the trials and Iron Banner loot, and it's like, no, like make those things exclusive and make them. I think I've been talking with Nut recently about like I
nut,
paid for part of the game. Yeah, Nut, the Nut.
nut, the nut.
I paid for the game, so I should like. I love the season because I've been able to actually level up and get into raids and stuff like that, and there's content locked behind that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And like Trials and Iron Banner, I think it's just been diluted. Like anyone can play. It's just your regular Crucible modes. But this week for a different loot pool.
Hmm.
That just feels wrong to me. There should be some sort of exclusivity to it. I like the fact that I can get to it, but adding the extra mercy, the mercy card, adding the extra loss onto it. Like, come on.
Well, I see. Yeah. Well, the only exclusivity seems to be in PvE stuff now. Yeah, I guess when they did make those trial changes, even I got like messenger, good rolls and stuff, and I don't trials much. I didn't have to go flawless for that. Or maybe I did once, but I think I got my messenger rolls with just doing games, not an actual flawless card.
Yeah, the immortal. What is the immortal? Is the big thing for trials right now, right? The SMG, and I don't have that yet.
No, but like everyone said, the 11 rank. I love the 11 rank. The 11 rank has some stuff on there that's really freaking hard to do. You got to solo stuff, and that's the kind of stuff that should be gate kept, right? 11, 12. I mean, hell, make it 9 or 10. So when you see someone walking around the tower and they're at 11, like Dan just got it today, you got his 11. It's like, holy shit, he did stuff that I can't do. Doesn't
Yeah.
doesn't give him an advantage in the game. Doesn't give him an advantage in PvP. Doesn't give him any sort of advantages. It is a purely cosmetic accolade that he can plainly show on his character, and I love that kind of stuff.
Hazel.
And
would
that
you
kind of stuff.
agree?
If you want to gatekeep that stuff behind flawless trials or solo runs, I'm here for it.
So,
But if you're going to give anyone that went solo trials went flawless trials, a gun that now makes them better in trials that I now have to go up against to get a flawless in trials, that's kind of bullshit to me.
Oh, I see what you're saying. But I feel like there's so
Right.
many good weapons that are comparable. Like it really doesn't matter in the big picture. There's
Yeah.
other good weapons too
There's a
that
bunch
people
of
can
other
get that are
stuff
just
out
as
there.
good.
Just
I
as
It's
think
really hard to say,
just as
Nate,
good
that-
from achievable sources, or just
Yes,
as good from
for sure.
Oh, okay.
For sure, yeah. I get what you're saying. Like it's easy to say, like,
Right.
well, that gun killed me, so and I can't get it. I'm salty, but I promise there's other guns that are pretty much just as good that you can get pretty
Yeah,
easily.
and I will admit, Bungie's getting better about that. But like in previous iterations of trials, that was not the case.
Yeah.
Right, when you were
Right,
going for
no.
what was it, the Redrick's broadsword or
Broadsword, the broadsword deal, or the
yeah, like
Claymore one,
to get to the broadsword, if you didn't already have it, you had to go up against people with the broadsword, and it's like that's bullshit.
Yeah. That was definitely more of a conversation back then. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually loving playing momentum control and having people with the immortal kill me. I'm like, this is momentum control. Why the fuck are you using the immortal?
Because you can.
I'm right here trying to get Catalyst, kill, like my Lorenz driver, stuff I hadn't done in seasons past. Get that done. I got them all done tonight. Just got lucky, but damn, I tanked my KD.
But yeah, like lowering the barrier to entry to get into raids and stuff like that, I'm all for it. As someone that's a absolute dirty casual, I like the fact that this season I can actually get to raids. I might not necessarily do good in them, but I can actually do them.
So why don't
I
they make
promise you
raids
can do.
easier to do that.
I promise you can do a lot of other raids that are even easier than Ron because all the other raids are 1600, and I promise you DSC.
Well, yeah, but
and
I'm
VOG
just
are still
saying in
easier than Ron.
prior seasons, I had to pinnacle grind to get to a point where I could enter raids. This season in particular, I didn't have to do all that.
Yeah, you
And
only had
I like that.
recommended 1770, 1780 is usually what you can
Right.
do. That's pretty good. Yep.
That was a nice
Mhm.
change for the casual that I am.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's there's a lot of things that are getting people interested, and even this Guardian ranks. If it's not for you, that's great. If it's not for other people, but I'm seeing more and more people even just write in our discords. I'm actually it's giving me something to actually go for, and some people, I'm sure Hazel can test this too. They're actually raiding because of Guardian ranks because it's telling them to raid.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a cool thing. Yeah.
And again, I'm all for that. Like I love the ranks, the requirements for the ranks, because it is purely literally a number over your head, not a significant advantage over people that haven't had access to stuff.
Yeah.
So
I disagree.
Ooh.
go ahead.
Yes.
You're allowed to be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think if you do the stuff, you should get rewarded for it beyond just
Getting
a
the number of
fancy
your head.
little
Yeah.
note,
Yeah.
I think you should be able to do something. I think you should get, honestly, I think if you do like the raid solo, or not the raid solo, but like the dungeon solo, that you should get a, what is it, like an adept or artifice armor or something like that.
Sure.
I mean,
Especially if you hit the highest
But-
rank, the top rank, yeah.
And if that
Maybe a set
item
of
makes
that armor.
if that item makes you better in PvE, have at it.
yeah.
If that item makes you better in PvP, I have a slight problem with that.
Well, then now we're back to the whole meta discussion of should Destiny ever have been a
Right.
PvE and PvP came together because it's so hard to balance all this shit,
Right.
Yeah, careful there, Hazel. You're almost sounding entitled.
No, he's sounding
no,
elitist, not
just-
entitled.
I'm just an elitist. Yeah, please get it right.
Sure.
You know,
There's a difference.